Stray Cat 74 here. Welcome back to the Basement of Solitude. We're going to be doing a little bit of resizing and repriming of 44 Magnum. Shows you how much coffee I've had today. You may notice there's a little bit of a glare. I don't want to go into the details. We'll talk about that some other time. Okay, first we're going to start off with some CCI Large Pistol Primers, and we're going to use a new tool. Well, it's new to me. New as in I finally got around to putting it on my press. And that is the automatic primer feeder for my single stage Rock Chucker. This requires just a little bit of setup, so we'll walk through that. Dump all the primers in the little tray thing here. Wow, I got it. I wish that was on camera. That's halfway across the room over there. Did I lose one? No, I did not lose one. Okay, it fell back in. Okay. Some of those will not flip over. There's little ridges in there to help it flip over so that the cup side is like that. But we're going to be using these, and since I can't get all of them to flip over, I usually come in here, grab the stubborn ones, and there's not a lot of pressure. It's like less pressure than you would write with a pencil. Okay, now they're all right side up. Now we have to turn them upside down. So we put the cover on, give it a twist, flip it over, take the bottom off, so all the nice little shiny caps or butts are facing up. We take this, and what you don't see is there's a little bitty clip on the end here, and I can't see through my hand, and the primers go in there like that. I'll explain why as we go, because when we go to put this in the machine, we turn it like this, so the cups are up when they go into the bullet, like that. Okay, so yeah, that one flipped over on me. Okay, when they won't go anymore, that's because they've reached the cotter pin here. And we take this, stick it like that in the machine, and we pull the cotter pin to get it to go. But I'm going to finish loading this up, and we also have to set up the machine. I wanted to do that while you guys was watching. It went in my shoe. Ah! $100 primers. Okay. Now, 44 Magnum. shell carrier. That wasn't screwed in all the way because I've been using it all morning. So. Okay. Lift. Slide this in. There's a little bit of a spring to keep retention on it so that it doesn't slide around on us. Take this. Move that out of the way here. Run it in that far. And then various places say you shouldn't do this, but I don't like these things coming loose, so I put about that much tension on them just to keep them from coming undone. Okay, so we have press set up. I'm just moving the handle all the way so you guys can see it a little better. I'd also probably need to move the camera a little closer, which means making a couple of adjustments here. And hoping the family doesn't interrupt. Right. Okay, so tubes in, pull that. I use the cotter pin, push that one in. And now we are ready to go. Now, to use this, first we take a drink. This arm, you pull it back a little bit, then you press it forward. Now I can't do this while holding the computer, but I'm going to press this in, and then I'm going to move the handle, which is going to seat the primer. But I need both hands. There we go. Okay, so forward, seat, and never let the primer arm here snap back. That can damage it. This piece is just aluminum. This is cast iron. Excuse me, it's a real show now. That's aluminum. And we have primer. Don't want to go too fast pushing it in because I can fling the primer out. Ask me how I know. You don't want to mash on it when you put the primer in either. That'll flatten the primer. You don't want to go too light on it. And that tube is going to annoy me quickly. You want it so that it's just flush or slightly recessed. Again, that's going to depend on primer type, shell type, all of the variables. CCI's got one size, and they're minute variations, less than the thickness of a piece of paper from what I've seen. See what I mean about going too fast? Didn't quite get that one all the way in. And if I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. Don't go too fast. You might not seat the primer all the way. It actually doesn't take all that much pressure to operate the machine. It's just coming back up, requires a little bit more force, and I use the flat of my hand for it. Your results may vary. Now, if you look here, I don't know if you can see it, there's this little bitty hole that the cutter pin went into. When it comes clear, that means we're almost out of primers. Usually like 5 primers or something like that. I forgot to count last time. Excuse me. I've never actually had one of these go off into press before. I don't think it would be all that much fun if it did. But when you try to maintain a steady pace, one thing you have to worry about is as the shell comes up, sometimes it'll catch on the lip of the die. So I can screw stuff up. So I usually try to keep my thumb against the base of the shell holder just to keep it in place. Because if it's going to move, it's going to move towards the opening. Now I have the opening set towards me as I sit on this side. It's just force of habit. I've just always done that. Don't ask me why. Your results may vary, of course. That one's nice and warm now. You see if I move, scooch over this way a little bit more, and my hand rests here. That way I'm actually visible and I'm not hiding behind the tube. Now the furnace kicks in, and I don't know if they're going to be able to hear me over that. I've had microphone issues in the past because I'm just using my laptop and I missed. And I'm always afraid I'm going to poke myself in the face with that damn thing. I don't know if I'm going to get to post this video today, but you'll see that it's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to you, those of you who celebrate it. Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, have a cool Yule, or, you know, screw you atheist people. No, I'm just kidding, I'm one of you, so it's just another day to me. I hope when this is done recording, it's not as jerky as I'm seeing on the screen. If it is, I'll have to redo this. Well, I guess I'll stop it when this runs out of primers, and we'll check. Remember, probably a third of the primers are over in this one, so you're not going to see the whole 50, or the whole 100 rather, unless I restart the video and do a little bit of editing to stitch them together. I'm still working on that, by the way. Some of you may have noticed that some of my videos are a little less professionally done than others, like when I drop stuff. So if you ever hear me say I are a trained professional, you know I'm lying my ass off. Self-trained, maybe. Potty-trained, definitely. House-trained, debatable. I cook, I clean, I'm good with kids. I reload ammo, rebuild engines, and I drive a truck for a living. Didn't quite get that one, sorry. Some of these go in a little harder than others. Now these are all Starline brass. They're supposed to be unfired. Some of these feel like they've either been fired or were not factory sized. In the plannings for future videos, it's going to be field stripping cleaning of various firearms. I also want to show you what happens when you try and shoot a high primer. That's going to require a little bit more notice. It's actually snowing out, so I don't want to... I'm picky. I don't want my weapons to get wet. Even though some of them are designed to. Okay, most of them are designed to. Aha! Don't know if you can see that. We just got the whole clip. So, I'm going to count them now to see how many we have left once that hole gets clear. Now, that was the one that caused the hole to get clear, so... Didn't quite get that one, sorry. 3. 6. 7. That's what it was. The last primer that's in here doesn't like to come in to the cup because there's no weight on it. So the 8th primer, after the hole clears, doesn't want to go. Okay, we pull that out, stick the cotter pin back in. Now, to load the next one, we do this. Pull the cotter pin out. I use the cotter pin to push the last couple of primers that are up here down into the tube. Screw it, I'm just going to keep going. I'm bored. This is what I do for fun. This is as much as information and entertainment for you guys as it is. I've got nothing left to do in my life. So I do this. Well, some people meditate, some people do yoga, some people have lives, wives, friends. I reload ammo. Also directly under the heat vent, so it's getting warm over here. Speaking of getting warm, you better remember to turn so I'm facing the camera. Because I end up over here, hiding behind the tube. It's because for the last 2 years I've been sitting at this angle. And this is right here. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera at all. And yes, I am this silly in real life. Or serious. Or pissed off looking. I've had people say that, and I'm really not upset about a lot. Everything pisses me off, but I'm not upset about a lot. The list of stuff that pisses me off is almost limitless. But I'm not the kind of guy that... already had one in there. But I'm not the kind of guy that, stews over what pisses me off. I scream profanity, I make obscene gestures, I listen to really loud music, and then I chill the hell out. Now, for those of you who have seen previous videos, you'll know right about where my laptop is set up. There used to be a Lee Pro 1000. It broke. 20,000 rounds in less than a year. It kind of broke in pieces. In places. Pieces in places. Places of pieces. I was going to fix it, but, well, there was a money issue. And the money issue is I spent the money on something else. Hopefully, when it shows up, I will have obtained a better camera and a tripod that I can put it on. That way I can have multiple cameras. I have to figure out how to do that too. Editing it in YouTube. There are folks that do that. I don't know how. I ain't got around to it. Clear hole. So we're gonna count again. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I don't know if you can see this, but that's cocked off at a little bit of an angle. Last primer. So I did count correctly. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but my thumb is directly behind this to catch the arm so it doesn't snap back and hit the little spring here. Let's see if I can get you a little bit better close up here. Okay, so that's about as close as I'm going to be able to get. Well, maybe. There we go. Up underneath the edge of my workbench. So what I've been doing is pulling this back, which allows the next primer to drop into the cup. Then I push it forward. The outside edge is spring-loaded, and the pin in the middle just screws in. So to change this from small primer to large primer, or large primer to small, I'd have to undo the pin, unscrew it, and put the right-sized pin and cup. So this has 2 Allen screws that holds it into the press, and from what I understand, this design hasn't changed in over 50 years. There are a couple of minor things about my press. This has the 50 caliber BMG option. You undo the die, you undo this here, and that opens it up to the 1-inch die set for 50 BMG. This is the 3/4 or 7/8, I forget what it is, die set for regular cartridges. Another thing that's different on mine, only because it's so old, is this here. New ones have a spot for 2 handles, or 2 spots to put the handle so it goes off at an angle. This one is straight because this one was purchased 45 years ago. I bought it from my dad a while back. There we go. So, there we have it. 144 magnums. Pull this out. Put the cotter pin back in the hole. Now this one, the shorter of the two, doesn't have the retaining pin around the outside. This uses tension, as you can see. It's slotted and it's slightly squoze in. Squoze, that's an actual word. Look it up. So, as you press down on the top of the primer, it opens slightly to grab the primer. Whereas this one has, I don't know if you'll be able to see inside there, but you see the edge of the spring on this side that keeps the primers from falling out. And there we go. 144 Magnum resized and reprimed, or primed. Yeah, it would be primed because these were brand new brass, unfired. I haven't had any coffee. Anywho, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be able to do some more videos for you soon. Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.